Today we have Marko. He is a web developer. He uses VueJS as front-end and Laravel as backend. He is a coder ninja. You know why. Welcome, Marko. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. First of all, thank you for inviting me. It's really a pleasure to be here after all those cool devs you had before. So thank you.
Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. Yeah. And so, please, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your story? How did you become a developer? Yeah. So, and that's it.
Yeah. So I'm a senior web developer in a company which is called Denic Web Solutions. It's based in Graz in Austria, and we are specialized in developing e-learning platforms, recruiting platforms, like project management platforms, and we're also developing one video conference platform similar like we're using now.
Oh.
So how I started started web development was when I started my studies. I'm a mechanical engineer, by the way.
Oh, nice.
And during my studies, thankfully, I had a few programming or computer science related subjects such as Visual Basic, AutoCAD, a little bit of networks, and that's when I decided I want to do programming. I don't want to be a mechanical engineer, but I finished my studies, and right after the studies, I started a web development boot camp. It was a really intensive boot camp, like 4 months, every day, the whole day. We had classes about HTML, CSS, JavaScript, PHP, and after this, basically on the last day of my bootcamp, I already started to work, and that's how I got into web development. Since then, I'm really happy with my decision, and I'm really happy that I made this decision. It was maybe the best decision in my life.
Oh, yeah, I love to hear that. Otherwise, maybe you will not be here. Maybe you'll be somewhere else.
Yeah.
So for that, I love to be here. And I heard already quite a lot of stories. We had like a ex makeup artist, an opera singer. I were a volleyball coach, but I think in your case you were not that far, so I don't know, because maybe because mechanical engineer, and it's all. I think I don't know if in the future this could be useful also for you. Everything we study in some ways could be useful. We never know. So I'd like to talk a little bit about, for example, we want to start from front-end or backend. I can let you choose.
Yeah, I'm always more excited about front-end, so maybe we can talk about that. And I decided to use VueJS because initially I was a backend developer, and when I decided to start to work more in front-end because it was more exciting for me, I was not sure what to use. React was and still is the most popular framework. But when I did the research, I decided to try both. So I tried React for a few days, tried Vue.js, and Vue.js was just starting out. It was version 1, like 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. And it was not that known at this point. But I decided to give it a chance. Maybe the reason it was not that famous was something that attracted me to follow it from the beginning and to give it a chance. And if it doesn't work, I can always pick something else. I was already quite familiar with vanilla JavaScript and jQuery. So it wasn't that hard to jump into either of those. But as I said, I gave Vue.js a chance and decided to try it in one project, some production project, and I did, and it worked really well. It was really simple to use it. It's really handy, especially for somebody who is a beginner level, as I was at that point. And this was also, I think, a good decision. I use it ever since, and I'm really happy with it.
Yeah. For example, I don't know if you watched the Jenny Potts, for example, she also used the VueJS. So any person which I interviewed that has tried VueJS, they love that. So I never used that in a real project. So I'm starting to getting really curious about that because I never met until now one person that said, I tried Vue.js and I really don't like that. I never heard that. So yeah, so you are adding another a plus one to this for me. So yeah, I'm really getting very curious. And also what you say that it's easy to learn. Something that yeah, for example, Jenny, she tried the Vue.js with almost zero knowledge of JavaScript because she needed to work on a project on Vue.js. But then she did something really good. They took a step back, and then she learned JavaScript vanilla because she wanted to learn what were behind that framework. So I think that in that case, she had a pretty good idea. Yeah, in our case, it's more normal. I think it's the best way to do that. Yeah, so thank you. I'm getting really curious about that. And so,
yeah, as you said, it's really beginner friendly. So no matter how experienced you are, basically in a few hours you could already build something. You know, when I tried it out, although I never touched it before, it was like I created some to-do list, of course, within I don't know hour or two, and that was also one of the things why I decided to use it or to give it a chance at least. The simplicity of it was what attracted me also. It's really simple to use. Syntax is really simple, and I really liked it also for simplicity of it.
And
one of the things that also attracted me to Vue.js is that the community is great, and they really did a really great job from the beginning, especially on creating great docs. And this is one of the most important things when you want to choose a new tech or a framework, especially.
Nice. That's it. Yeah. So yeah, thank you, because I'm really curious about Vue.js. Yeah, and now let's talk a little bit about backend experience. So you say that you prefer frontend, but do you have also I think an experience with backend? Do you want to keep going on that, change that?
Yeah. I was initially a backend developer working on Laravel projects, but as I said, the frontend, I'm working equally on backend and frontend, but frontend is something which makes me more excited. I like it more because you can see things you're doing immediately in the browser. So it's also something which is presented to the users. Users are not seeing backend, and although it's equally important, in my case, it's front-end is something which I work more excited on.
Yeah, okay. Of course, some backend developer will disagree with your statement, but that's the game. So we are waiting for that comment that will say, "Oh no, backend is way better than frontend." So yeah, it's it's the same. Yeah. So so you did some backend. So I used some PHP, some basic PHP at university, and that's all for me. This is my experience with PHP. Can you please explain to me if you know which kind of Laravel, what adds to PHP, if you know that, why it's useful, that framework, how do you use that? Because I really don't know. I've just used the basic PHP. I don't even remember the version, but yeah. So I don't know if you.
Yeah, for Laravel is the same thing as for VueJS as a framework. The documentation is really good, and the community is really good. And also, I think 2016, Taylor Rotwell, the creator of Laravel, decided to add a VueJS as a default scaffold in Laravel projects. So that is also one more plus for it in my case. Yeah, and I really like working in both, and I'm quite experienced in both. So I get a lot of questions on Twitter and Facebook, LinkedIn also about how can we get started with it and stuff like that.
We're also connected on LinkedIn. We'll talk maybe a little bit later, but I've seen many of your posts on LinkedIn. I like them. When I see them, and I'm not on Twitter, which is the most of my time, sometimes I check your posts. They are really good. So
thank you.
Thank you. So let's talk a little bit about socials. Which socials do you use? You already told me, but also which is your personal experience with socials? What you like, what you don't like about them? So we can also then follow you wherever.
Yeah, thank you. What I like about social media is that you can approach to a lot of people with sharing some posts or interacting with them, and maybe make it easier for the new guys for beginner programmers to get into it by sharing some resources. I share a lot of resources on all over the social media. Also some tips. Maybe sometimes I use it trying to motivate somebody, but also it's a reminder for me too that this motivation is also I should apply it to myself. So that's what I like. You can connect to a lot of people and share thoughts, share knowledge. When I started out with programming, it was not a thing to learn in public, but now it's really a thing, and I'm a little bit jealous because I didn't have it when I started out. It's a really good thing that when you share your path, your learning process, you are helping others. If you get stuck or if you're successful, in any case, you're helping others because they see, okay, it's normal to get stuck sometimes, especially in the beginning, and it's normal to be successful. So it's really helpful for the other community members, because if you get stuck, you can get help. Somebody can help you, or at least if somebody hear you or listen to you, that's sometimes enough help. That somebody just listen to you really carefully, and then you come to the solution, or you get some motivation. Somebody boosts your motivation, something like that. And also, when you're successful, other members can see that this is possible, even though if you started it as from scratch, as we all are, and you did something successfully, and it's motivation for the others too. And I think it's really cool if you take one of those challenges, like 100 days of code or 100 days of AWS, 100 days of whatever, you somehow give accountability to your learning, because you're sharing it in public, and you also gives you consistency, which is really important when you're learning. And if you learn 100 days something, you will become really good at it. 100 days is not it's a big amount of knowledge. If you do it 1 or 2 hours a day or even more,
that's a lot.
couple of hundreds of learning.
Yeah, 1 hour per day for 100 days. Yeah, you can learn, actually learn really a lot by learning
I'm a
every day.
huge believer of consistency, and if you're doing something for 100 days or 200 days or whatever in a row, and you're really consistent, then you add a lot of knowledge to you, and it's really important to be consistent and to if even if you share it in public, then it's even better, because you learn better and you give some resources and motivation to the others that they can also do it.
Yeah, thank you for sharing this with us. We also had Ravin from India here some days ago. We talked a lot about consistency. I've talked with kind of expert people on this tech field, and this word consistency keeps coming in each videos. So thank you also for you for having this, because it's something that maybe sometimes it's hard to get started. I'm trying, for example, to be consistent with this sort of videos. I don't know for how much I can last, but yeah, I love that. And I see that in just some days, a couple of weeks, it's already getting quite a lot of traction. So it's a consistency. If you can do it daily, yeah, for videos, I think it's really important. But this can be applied to basically everything. I come from the sport world, so if you are consistent with your training, results will come. This is a law with music, with everything. So yeah, you can watch also this video if you're not a developer. It can also works for you. Yeah, that's it. So and I think that sometimes maybe we all get tired. Sometimes we don't want to do something. We need other things out of our mind. But maybe to not lose our streak, we could just maybe do this, maybe for a bit less time, but just always do that. And then the day after, maybe we are more energetic, we can dedicate a little bit more time. But the amount of time that you dedicate, I think it should be split among many weeks, many months, because it's not about the hours. Yeah, if you code like 16 hours for 1 week, I think it's better instead just do 1 hour for 2 months, which I think we should do the count, but maybe it's almost the same hours, but they are split in a different way. And by doing it a little bit every day, I think it's way better. Of course, also for your body health, please don't code for 16 hours in any case. So so that's it. Thank you. So so we were talking a little bit more social. So where can we find you? Which social do you use?
Yeah, I use mostly Twitter because I find it fits the most for me. Mm-hmm. But also use LinkedIn and Facebook in that order. So the most I use Twitter, and then a little bit on LinkedIn, and sometimes on Facebook. There's a lot of programming, especially learning programming groups, where some of them I'm moderator, some of them I just contribute as a member. Mm-hmm. So I try to share a lot of tips and resources, sometimes to boost motivation, as I said, and I think it's equally important as sharing tips. Because on the beginning, when you start learning programming, there's a lot of doubts. Am I good enough for this? Will I made it to the end, to the goal, not to the end? And motivation can be really important in this part. So I try to not do it too much, but when I feel I need to do it, then I do it. And the good thing about socials is also that people know you from one social media, like from Twitter. And there was one comment on Facebook that said one guy said, "Oh, is this Marko from Twitter? He's great." And it's really.
I love when
really
people
good.
say this to me. It makes me feel so famous. Oh, you're Francesco from Twitter. Oh, yes, it's me. I also use the same profile pic, so people can say, "Ah, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
really you." Yeah. So yeah, but I think it's a game. So yeah. So yeah, we are. Yeah, I'm here to remind you that we are just people. I do this kind of videos to
yeah,
make sure that we are not
yeah,
like bots. We are we're real, actually real people. Maybe we have used our socials a bit too much for a for a period, and that's it.
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah, and we can blame lockdown. So it's totally fine now. For
yeah.
now, yeah, we can do that, and that's it. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true. I never used social this much before.
me
I
neither.
just sometimes to post some personal stuff maybe,
Mm,
but since the lockdown, I started to be a little bit more consistent and to share
yeah,
more.
yeah,
And because yeah, more people were on social media, so
yeah,
I was there
yeah.
to support somebody, sometimes to learn somebody
Mhm.
something, and it's really great. Also making these connections to other developers.
Yeah,
I talk sometimes with some developers like you and me now, and it's really important to make these bonds, these connections, and
yeah.
this is what makes us people on social media. As you said, we can just look like some kind of bots, but we are, yeah, there's a
Yeah,
real person behind
here we
that,
are.
that
So
keyboard.
yeah, sorry to
Yeah,
disappoint you. Sorry to disappoint you, but here we are. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's funny sometimes. Also, yeah, to use the socials just to get connected
yeah,
with other people. I'm also trying to do this kind of videos to get a little bit stronger connections because I don't know, maybe I'm a bit old. I like to do some stronger connections, not just
yeah,
get followers and likes. Yeah, I'm a little bit bored about just that. I want to do something a little bit different, and I'm really enjoying this kind of videos. Yeah, and that's it. So
yeah. This is great, and you're
yeah,
like a machine. Every time I jump into Twitter, I see here's a new video from Francesco
yeah,
talking with Santiago,
yeah,
talking with
yeah,
Simon, and so.
For example, Raf Rasenberg, which it's also one friend of mine. I think yesterday or the day before he said, "Okay, which one will be out today?" So it's almost that now. If I don't release
Yeah,
for one day, people will start complaining about that. So I mean,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah,
don't
I have.
stop.
Yeah, I have a little bit crazy goal. I don't know. Probably I'll fail, and I'll get some comments like, "Aha, you failed." But I'd love to do like 100 in a row. So for 100
Yeah,
days, every day, I'll fail probably. So in that case, I'll not publish the video. I don't know. So I'll cut this part out. But
yeah, yeah,
yeah, but I don't know because I wanted to really to create this habit because it's something, as you said, for me. I haven't used any social media almost never before this year. At the beginning of this year, I started to use them. Then lockdown came up, and I think, of course, it's a bad thing. But I've heard a lot of people who said, "Oh, I've used that time to start making my YouTube channel." It was not my case. I started in August, but it also helped because by growing on Twitter, you get confidence. I did a video on Twitter on July. I never did a video on internet before, for example. And then from that point, I did another one, did some also pretty funny stuff. Then I started making some running videos, and then some Docker stuff. And then I'm into this, and I really like this because yeah, I think it's also,
yeah,
yeah, it's also always a matter of practice. I change lights in every videos because I'm still in that phase that I need to figure out how to do that. So I'm also I put the microphone in a different position in every video. So people will hate me for that. But yes, I'm still trying. I also want to show this that you don't have to be perfect to get
yeah,
started. I don't think that people will complain a lot if I change the position of my microphone from one video from another. Then when I'll find the good setup, then maybe I'll stick with that. Otherwise, I get crazy about that. But that's it. So yeah, yeah. What
yeah.
I'm
You
doing,
said you
I'm
want to. Oh,
no,
sorry.
no good.
You said you want to record 100 videos in 100 days, and where are you standing now? What is the score?
Yeah, yeah. I'm a kind of. I like to do hard things because hard things they trigger me. I don't know. Maybe because I come from the sport world, so everything it's really hard. Okay, so it's hard, so let's do that. So yeah, I have this mindset. It's something. It can sound strange, but if something is easy, probably I don't do that. I just do leave that in cases when there's something hard. I really start thinking, oh, it's hard, but it's impossible, or it's just hard, or maybe very, very hard, because from hard to impossible, there is a difference. So
Yeah.
it's totally not impossible, it's just hard. I need to be really very, very, very consistent about that. I don't know, wish me luck, Marco, because,
Good luck.
because it's really hard, another idea. I'll see if if I get there, I'll post something. I'll celebrate really really well. Yeah, I wanted to say just one thing because I didn't want to interrupt you. Because for myself, I'm saying that I'm starting using social this year, but I started study computer science and programming way before. And one thing that that I missed is that when I reached some goal, maybe I understood some hard concepts. By not having any social media, okay, I celebrate by myself, but I think it's a bit different. Maybe I missed this thing a little bit. So if you have socials, you have some audience, and you understand a difficult concept, you can share with other people, other developers. They can give feedbacks to you. Yeah, and I miss that. So don't do my mistake that I do this all by myself. Just was coding. Then I saved something. Yeah, maybe I told this to a friend, a real friend. Also, that's good. But also by also sharing with that community, I think it's a good. Yeah, it's good for others and also for yourself. So yeah, that's it. Share your experience, share your successes, and yeah, celebrate them. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, responsibly, of course. Yeah.
Not too much celebrating.
Not too much. Yeah, if you learn a JavaScript framework, if you learn this keyword, yeah, you don't have to go drunk for that. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, maybe sometimes. Yeah, I have a message for beginner programmers that they shouldn't be. Don't be intimidated. You get stuck sometimes, and as we all did when we started out, I'm coding for years now, and I'm still stuck every day. At some point, I have to Google something, even some most basic stuff like some method or whatever. I Google every day. I think 100 times a day. So it's totally normal. Don't be intimidated by this. And if you need some help, join Twitter and ask questions, and you will get the answers.
Yeah, of course. Yes, if you want to ask something, of course, the more you are specific about that problem, like I have this problem, I tried this, I also tried this. What can I do? Instead of just saying I'm stuck, I can't do this. It's harder. Sometimes it's harder also because we want to help you, but if you are more specific about what you tried, what are the versions of the software you used, maybe there is some people that in their mind they say, oh, with that version you can do that, for example. So always, the more you are specific about something, some problem, and you have more chances to get a very good answer.
Or at least to get it faster. If you know, I know it's not that easy for the newbies to, especially if you just started out. It's not easy to formulate the problem you have. But if it's possible, some kind of help us to help you.
Exactly. I love that. So thank you, and please, if you reached this part of the video, please leave a comment about that. What do you think about this? And please follow Marco on Twitter and LinkedIn also. Facebook. So, and that's it. So thank you for being here, Marko. It's been really a pleasure for me. It was the first time that I met you. Yeah, I can't wait to talk to you again. Yeah, have a good day.
Maybe next time we will have some new exciting news from my side. So maybe in 2 or 3 months, if we speak again, I think I will have some projects finished, which are ongoing at the moment, and we can share them with your audience. And also for your audience, don't forget to subscribe to Francesco's channel. It's really great. I really enjoy your videos. And thank you once more for having me here. It's really a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Marko. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Misto.